Sunday morning, her long hair flowing in the midwinter wind. I know not how she found me, for in darkness I was walking and destruction lay around.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Natalie's Witchy Wisdom. I thank you again for tuning in. This week is an exciting start for me. I am embarking on a new playlist. It is going to be entitled Reviews, and this will be an ongoing playlist that I may add videos to, probably not on a weekly basis, but I'm going to definitely be adding videos to this as I acquire new books for my library, new products, things like that. It will be a review of both literature and product that I find, and possibly even things that I make. I may do self-reviews, which are always tough because you got to be critical of yourself. The first thing that I want to start out with, I do want to make a note, just so you know, I'm about to record several videos in a row, so you'll notice I'm wearing the same thing. Don't think that I have only one item of clothing in my wardrobe. I just am sitting down to do this because this is the only day I have off, and I want to get these done. I am recording this series of videos because I want to do each item individually. I want to make sure that I give each author and each creator due respect for their product and not do several products at one time or several books at one time. I want to be able to devote a video strictly to this specific item because I feel that each author deserves that much respect. And I am going to say some videos are going to be longer than others, some will be shorter. The first item that I'm going to review is by a friend of mine, Timothy Roderick. Many of you are familiar with him. He wrote the Wicca, A Year and a Day, 365 Days in the Craft of the Wise, of Study in the Craft of the Wise. Long title, sorry. If I screwed that up, Timothy, I'm so sorry. But you all, if you've watched my Year and a Day playlist, you are familiar with that book. You have seen it. I apologize that I still have not figured out how on the video camera to flip my camera around. I figured out how to do it with just taking a still picture, but on the video I can't, so I apologize. This is the book that I am reviewing today. This is Briar, Blackwood's Grimmest of Fairy Tales. It is by Timothy Roderick. Now this book is a departure from some of his other books that he has written, which were more non-fiction based. This book is his first attempt at a true novel, and it is a fantastic attempt. He does a wonderful job weaving a very interesting twist to some somewhat familiar tales. It is It is published by Lodestone Books, not Llewellyn Books. Lodestone, I believe in my research I discovered, is a publisher that gears towards juvenile fiction. It is listed as juvenile fiction, so this book is geared towards your mid to late teenage years, although I think kids of all ages will enjoy it. I certainly enjoyed it, and I'm in no way a kid, although I work with kids and often act like one, so I don't know if that counts. But this is a really, really, really excellent job of a first novel. Your first novel is always hard because you're drawing your ideas from different places, and I myself am a writer. I have had a few things published. I'm actually working on getting some fictional works that I've done published. I've written a couple of children's books, and so I'm working on getting those published. So I'm looking at it from myself as a writer. But if you're just sitting down and you want a good something to read, this is an excellent book. Timothy does a really good job of creating some interesting characters and some twists to the story that you may not expect. There's some humor in the story, there's some drama in the story. You really become involved with the characters, which is nice, and that's really important to me, especially in a work of fiction. For those of you that know me well, one of my favorite characters is Anne of Green Gables, and what's so interesting about her is that that is a character that you really are drawn to, you connect with. And my point of bringing that up is that Timothy does a really good job of doing that same kind of bonding of the reader to the character in the story. You really feel for her, and you want to see her succeed. So this is an excellent job. My teenage daughter, I have a daughter who is 16, she'll be 17 in September, and she really enjoyed this book as well. She's kind of recommended it to some of her friends, so hopefully that's growing in a little bit. It is a work of fiction. It's a little bit of a departure, like I said, in terms of it's not really witchy geared. It's got elements of magic in it. You see some of his religion come out in the book, but not in a way that it's going to be so overwhelming to somebody who's not part of the craft. You get little bits of it here and there, but it's more fairy tale in nature, and excellent, excellent. Character develop is very good. Character development. One of the things that I did want to mention about the book is that some of the action that occurs at the beginning, it's very fast paced, and if you have something going on, I always have something going on. You may have to go back and reread it a couple of times to fully understand exactly what was happening, but it's not anything that takes away from the book. You just may need to go back and kind of reread a section or two to make sure that you fully grasp everything that happened in the story. But it is fantastic. I will mention he has got a sequel to this book coming out, so I don't know when exactly it's due to come out. He was just kind enough to share that information with me. So don't be disappointed at the end when you're going, that's it. There's going to be more. Promise you. So you're going to find yourself doing that. You're going to be wanting to know what goes on. What's going to be, that can't be the end. And you want to know what's going to continue. So keep that in mind as you read this book. It is really a great novel, especially for the teenage kids. They're going to enjoy this. This is something that you're going to really like, and Timothy, you did a fantastic job. Cannot wait for the next one to come out. You need to hurry up with that. So that is my review of Briar Blackwood's Grimmest of Fairy Tales. I believe it's going to be a series of books, so please check that out and give Timothy your feedback. I know he would love to hear any kind of constructive things you have to say. Good, bad, ugly. I know for me as an author, that always helps when people kind of go, hey, did you realize? So I tweak. I didn't notice anything that needed tweaking myself. And again, it's a novel, so it reads differently than just his standard work. So fantastic job, Timothy. Keep it up, and I cannot wait for the next one. I hope you all enjoy it. I don't want to go into too much detail about the book because I don't want to give anything away. I will say that there are some twists on some stories that you're very familiar with, so it's things you're going to connect with right away, but he gives it a little bit of a twist to it that makes it interesting and keeps it going for you. So enjoy it. It's a great book, and thank you again for watching.